Disney to go be the head of story on the Roger Rabbit shorts unit. You know, Tummy Trouble and Roller Coaster and all that. And that was like, because I was still, you know, really thinking animation. So that was like, you know, graduate work for me. I was like dying to get in there. That was a great experience because I was just back like with my Kellogg's buddies.
But David and I were really trying hard to, you know, figure out this cartoon and how the characters worked. We would take a drawing that we thought was good, one of the better ones, and put it on the wall and start drawing like that one and following that one and deciding, you know, which mouth shapes work better, the proportions of the head, how many spikes in Bart's hair. I think it was David and I that arrived at Bart has 9 spikes. David was drawing like 11 or 12. I was drawing like 6 or 7 or 8 spikes. So 9 or 10, 9 was kind of in the middle. And that was like a big deal. Actually, like how many spikes in Bart's hair? And then like you get into the animation design where, you know, how high are the eyes on his forehead? How tall is his forehead? How much does the mouth stretch? All those details.
David Silverman, animator.
I don't know. I just remember looking over each other's shoulders saying, how are you drawing Bart this week? Oh, how are you drawing Homer this week? I will say this. We were freelancing. The way they worked it out, I guess, for whatever, you know, tax reason, they didn't pay us a salary per se. They played us as if we were contracted for like, you know, 40 hours of work a week. But we were doing more like 70 or 80. I mean, we were just working all the time. But, you know, I didn't mind it. I felt very compelled and invested in like trying to do something. If no other reason, I thought this would look good in my portfolio, you know. But at the same time, I was delighted that, hey, this is our artwork on a primetime network show. You know, it's not us doing storyboards at Ruby Spears or character designs at Hanna-Barbera or layout, you know, Filmation. We're doing, is there actual animation being on a primetime show? Maybe it's worth investing something. So that was my attitude about it anyhow. I think everybody else's too.
That investment skyrocketed when James L. Brooks took the shorts long form. But according to a Brooks interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the idea to turn the shorts into a sitcom actually came from David Silverman.
He was the one who I think is as responsible for The Simpsons being a series as anyone, because he accosted me drunk on a Christmas party, office Christmas party long ago, and just spilled out passionately how there hadn't been an animated series on television for a quarter century at that time, and how much it would mean to animators to have a series out there with animation. And I was really impressed. And that, I think that moment led to doing the series as much as anything.
I remember talking to him like that. I guess I thought I was more sober than he said I apparently was. But I did talk to him about it. I don't know if I didn't stop the party and make a speech, but I did talk to him. I guess I may have said a few, maybe a couple of sentences continued, and I ran on a bit. But it was like, oh, there he is. Okay, I'll say hi to him. Thought I was being just cool and calm and collected, but I didn't know what the look on my face was. That was Jim's POV, which I did not have any camera to verify what it was like. She said that I accosted him. I think I introduced myself to him. I think I get drunker with every retelling the story. But I imagine, I don't know, because I don't know how drunk I was. Because when if you had a few drinks, you have no idea. But I probably had a couple of courage to meet him because I wanted to meet him. The respect I had for him was extremely, and still is, of an extremely high level. I find him to be just a walking genius. Based on, this is only based on the work that he had done, from, Mary Tyler Moore Show to Terms of Endearment, even to Room 222, and of course Taxi and broadcast news. So it's like, this is a real guy that really knows about comedy and pathos and heart. At the 100th episode party of the Simpsons series, I saw Jim at the bar, and Jim turned to me and said, David, do you remember when you first introduced yourself to me? And I was like, really kind of flabbergasted. I said, no, Jim, I do, but I didn't think you remember. He said, oh, no, I remember very well. And he essentially recounted the same story. And he said that basically you came up, you had a few, clearly, and you were stuck your hand out and introduced yourself. And he said it was something along the lines of, I was really glad to be doing some great adult animation on a primetime show, and that there hadn't been something like this in 25 years, and it'd be great if this could be a show on its own or something like that. I think it was one of the factors. I don't think it was the factor. I think it was a factor. So I'll take some credit, but I certainly won't take the lion's share. I suspect part of it, too, was I think Matt certainly had an enthusiasm to want it to be a series. If that helped to become a show, I'm glad I spoke up.
When it got greenlit to go to